Hello friends and welcome to this tutorial of Tableau by Slidescope. In this particular tutorial we are going to discuss about creating a Pareto chart. So this is an example of Pareto chart and we have some sample data. We have data of a sample store. This data is available on kaggle.com and various other sources. Just type sample superstore data, and if you are unable to find this data, please contact us on Slidescope website with your email, and I will provide you the link of this data. So in this data, we have row ID, order date, shipment. So this data is of any sample store which sells various items of these segments like consumer segment, home office segment, furniture, and the categories of product are furniture, office supplies, technology, and there are some subcategories also: bookcases, chairs, labels. So there are many products in this data, and these are the orders. And on every product, the information of sales and profit is there. So this in this Pareto chart, we are comparing the profit of every subcategory. So these bar graphs here, or these bars here, represent the profit of every subcategory. So in this subcategory, tables, in bookcases, in supplies, fasteners. So supplies, bookcases, and tables have a negative uh, profit here. So that means this is loss. And on so this is a dual axis plot, you can say, and here you can see the percentage of total running sum of profit. So before drawing a Pareto chart, or before uh, understanding this, and before understanding how we can plot this on Tableau, what you have to do is you have to first understand some basic concepts here. So a Pareto chart is a type of chart that contains both bars and line graph. So we have read about bar graphs, we have read about line graphs, but in this type of chart, in this Pareto chart, both bars and a line graph is there. So where individual values are represented in descending order by the bars. So as you can see, and these are individual values, and these are represented in descending order by the bars, and the cumulative total is represented by the line. So we have mentioned here something about the running sum of profit, or the running total of profit, percentage of total running sum of profit. So a running total is the summation of a sequence of numbers which is updated each time a new number is added to the sequence. So whenever a new number is added to the sequence, the summation is updated with the complete sum, and by adding the value of the new number to the previous running total. So suppose we have two numbers, we will add those two numbers, then a new number comes in, so we will add these three numbers, and then we have the running total. So at instance when a new number is added in the sequence, or when a new member is added in a sequence with a number, so the its value is added in the previous running total, and then the running total is calculated. So these are the basics of how we can these are the basics of running total and Pareto chart. So let's get started. This is our graph, but we will teach you on a new Tableau sheet. So we have our data source connected here, and we have talked a lot about connecting various type of data source in our previous videos. So if you are not familiar about how to connect a data source, I suggest you to go and watch those videos. If you are familiar how you can connect to various data sources, then you can watch from here. So in our data source we have some sheets. We have order, people, and returns, but this order sheets is the complete data set that we want to analyze using Tableau. So from here we are using orders, right? So let me remove this. So now I don't have anything. After loading your sheet, what you have to do is drag orders here, then everything will be loaded, and now you have these values, right? We have also talked about live and extract here, and now let's go to our sheet, our new sheet here. So click on sheet, and a new sheet will be there in front of you. This is our working area. Let's name this as Pareto chart, or how to draw, yeah, how to make a Pareto chart. Now you can resize your heading and hit apply, then okay. So this is our heading, and now first thing what you have to do is if you can if you see the sample Pareto chart here, so we have subcategories here. So in every product has some subcategory, and then that product has some profit. So we we will plot subcategory wise profit in Tableau. So to plot that, what you have to do is first uh, drag subcategory to the column section, so that we have all the name of subcategories in columns. So in our data set, this subcategory column is named as subcategory 1, so we have dragged it in the column section. So you can note down these steps, or you can do it with me, or you can understand and then do it on your knowledge. So first thing is to drag this subcategory in the column section, so that you have information about all the subcategories in a column structure. If you will drag this to rows, then you will have the name of columns in the rows. But what we want to do is for every individual value, what you can read from is a type of chart that contains both bars and line, where individual values are represented in descending order by bars. So we want to represent the individual values of profit for these subcategories in descending order of bars, right? So first we will do this thing, then what you have to do is drag profit from here. So whenever you drag any particular measure from measure in Tableau, so some aggregation is automatically added, and mostly some some aggregation is added. You can change it to change this measure to average, median, count distinct, minimum, maximum, percentile, standard deviation. You can change this to anything, right? So now we have this value. Then click on category and click on sort. So after clicking on sort, uh, in the sort by section, click on field, and the sort order should be descending, because that is the definition of Pareto chart. We just read that. So now profit and aggregation should be sum, and now we have the first part of our Pareto chart. Remember, we can uh, color it as anything, and if we want, we can give it a green color. If we want, we can give it a blue, purple, pink, any color. So from this color option here in the mark section, so what we have done so far, we have first dragged the from the dimensions, we have dragged the subcategory in the column section, and from measures we have dragged sum of profit in the rows section. Dimensions are basically qualitative values. Dimensions are basically discrete values, and Measures are basically continuous values mostly, or in a simple way, dimensions are string data, the data which are in form of common words, and measures is mostly the numeric data, something that we can aggregate. Now, so we have our first part. Then again, the second quantity will be same. So we have to drag sum of profit once again. Now what you will see is, because we have two rows here, right? So the data is also being represented in two rows. So in the second row, what you have to do is you have to make it a dual axis, because we want to show the data on one axis, right? So now you have this bubble type of graph here. These are top of values, means this is like a bar chart but with these circles over here. And this is because we have dragged, we have two columns here, right? We have two rows here. So this is, here also we have profit, and here also we have profit. So we are seeing same value on uh, this axis also, and same profit value on this axis also. So what you have to do is right click, or basically click on this second part here, and add some table calculation here, right? And in the calculation type you have to use the running total, right? So that is what we understood from the definition, that a running total is the summation of sequence of numbers which is updated each time a new number is added. So from here you have to uh, select running total, then sum, and this will be selected as table across. And we have to add a secondary calculation also, right? Because only one calculation is not sufficient. So in the secondary calculation, we have to select percentage of total. We can select anything, percentage difference, percent from rank, percentile, but we have to select percentage of total. And after selecting percentage of total, uh, everything will be same. Then simply cross this. So now we have two graphs here, right? And you can see here it is automatic. So automatically it is showing us the circle. Automatically it is showing us these scatter plots, right? So what you can do, because our definition says a Pareto chart is a type of chart that contains both bar and line graph. So simply make the first sum profit here as, instead of automatic, make it a bar, and this second make it a line. So now we have our Pareto chart. If you want, you can assign separate colors to bar and this line. So let's assign a color of any color. Let's select this color here. So now this is our Pareto chart, and what we are seeing here is, on this axis you can see descending order of profit. So copiers have most amount of profit, and the percentage total is 19.42. It will keep adding, and so this, because from this point we have some negative profit, that's why it is dropping. So at this point we have more than 100% of percentage of total running sum of profit along table across is more than 100%. And because the profit from this point is profit for suppliers is negative, that's why we are seeing a drop here. You can see it in full screen also. So this is the data. What you can do, you can apply some filters also. So up to this part our Pareto chart thing is over. Means how to plot a Pareto chart, I have demonstrated that. Now just for some basic purpose, We can drag some filters also. So let's drag country here. So in the filter section, you can drag country. We have only one country here. So let's drag city here. So let's select all cities first, apply, okay. And then what you have to do is you have to show your filter, right? So you have all cities, and instead of making it a multiple value list, you can make it a drop down. And the second thing that you have to do is only relevant values. So now we have a filter in our chart also, and we can filter this profit data of subcategories on the basis of city also. Let's make it full screen. All cities are selected. Let's select no city here, or let's remove some cities from this data. So if you will keep removing some data, you will see some changes in your data also. So let's select all. Let's So you can see when I am removing this city from the selection, the data is changing. So that concludes our tutorial of how to draw a Pareto chart. I hope you have I hope you have understood the concept. And if you have any doubts, please feel free to ask your questions in the comment section. If you want to join the Tableau course, you can join the course at slidescope.com. And thanks for watching this video. Have a nice day.